Let me be right up front. I believe that you will find, as I have, that an unemotional, unbiased consideration of the origins of the universe necessarily leads to a first cause or a creator. This is the most reasonable conclusion we can arrive at based on a couple of key concepts we'll look at in a moment. While I respect the beautiful concept of the blind faith of a child, which is essentially a faith based on faith, advances in the sciences have resulted in the wide promulgation of secular, agenda-based concepts regarding our origin that conveniently and purposefully omit fundamental points of logic. Now, when allowed into the discussion, there are key concepts that are consistent with, yet transcend the best pure science, and lead one, at least intellectually, to consider that the most reasonable conclusion we can arrive at is that God exists. Now, a foundational perspective for a fair view of God and his existence and our place in his creation must necessarily begin with an understanding and humble acceptance that we are but created beings. We are not gods. We have no say over our future, meaning our final destiny. Now, as created beings, it is impossible for us to completely understand our Creator and the full nature of his being. The presumptuous thinking that we can prove or disprove the Creator's existence is nonsense. We simply can't. We as created beings can only see dimly that which is beyond our ability to fully comprehend. A realm, a being, so far beyond our capacity to understand. On the other hand, outside the circular logic of theology, we do have the ability to come to reasonable conclusions regarding God's existence and our place in his creation. Consider with me for a moment the concept of nothing. You know, the absence of anything, or non-existence. This is an obviously rhetorical question, but I ask, what can come of nothing? Unless we change the millennia-honored definition of nothing, the only correct answer to the question can be nothing. We would be intellectually dishonest if we tried to parse the definition of nothing as anything other than the absence of anything. This truth is a simple function of honest logic. Stay with me here. If we can rightly say, then, that it is an impossibility for something to come of nothing, then we can rightly conclude that something had to exist prior to the existence of the physical universe as we know it. The universe and all in it are temporal, not eternal, inexorably entrenched in time and space. Let's consider for a moment a corollary concept to non-existence: personality versus impersonality. If nothing can only beget nothing, it stands to reason that from impersonality can only come impersonality. From a vacuum comes a vacuum. Let's consider some primary elements of the human condition for a moment. We are, with sensational, exceptional headlines, social beings, communicative, gregarious, desirous of closeness, of belonging, of loving. Family and close friends are our dearest associations in this life. We are personal creatures. To coin a phrase, no man is an island. When considering the nature of our existence, wouldn't you agree that it is best to choose a solid method of reasoning that is consistent with and brings into play both cold logic of science and scientific facts, as well as the warmth of human experience and the need to belong? At this point, to the best of human judgment, and with consistent, solid logic, we can reasonably conclude two things about the nature of our existence in the universe. That something existed prior to the beginning of the physical universe, and that something, as humanly observed and experienced, has elements of personality and order. The universe and humankind exist. The universe, out of infinitesimal odds against it, is orderly. Our Earth, only a small body within the universe, wonderfully supports human life. Humans are personal beings desiring closeness and real, heartfelt connections. Now, all arguments against the existence of a willful, personal God center on the possibility that pure, blind chance was at play in the beginning. Although, as we have pointed out, this is by definition a rational impossibility. But let's take a look at the creation equation as it looks with this element of irrationality or of chance. Now, to me, the comparison between the two cosmological equations is outstanding. We as humans are not robots. We are not, by design, forced into acknowledging our Creator. He didn't plan it that way. He didn't want it that way. We have options. The question becomes how we as individuals respond to our Creator. Faith is, on its own merits, by definition, irrational. Now, knowledge of God through creation is most rational. Knowing that it is most reasonable to believe that a personal God exists, and He in fact created the universe and humankind, is not a difficult conclusion. How we internally respond to this knowledge, I believe, is the most critical choice we will make in our own lives. Do we smugly, egotistically decide to go it alone as though we are gods ourselves? Or do we seek to know the Creator and what He has revealed of Himself, a revelation that provides us life-giving reassurances of who we are and how we can respond to the Creator in a way that gives our lives real meaning and purpose? The choice is a very personal choice. This decision is one that has ramifications far beyond the last breath we breathe on this little planet that we live on. I'll close this segment on why I believe with a quote from the book of Deuteronomy, written approximately 3,500 years ago. But if from there you seek the Lord your God, you will find Him, if you seek Him with all your heart and with all your soul. Something to consider.